Hello, hello, welcome. Noop, good to see you. Welcome along. Gordon, great to see you.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Grant, nice to see you as well. Welcome, welcome. When you're ready, put your cameras on, get connected if you can. If you're in your pajamas, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Let me know in the chat whereabouts are you joining. Janet, lovely to see you. Thanks for doing that. Hi there, Greg. Good to see you. Let me know whereabouts are you joining me from. Just put in the chat, and I'll love to know where you're joining from, how you're feeling. Give me a little bit of a heads up in the chat. Glasgow, great to see you. From Glasgow. Zimbabwe, fantastic, Brian. Thank you. Nice to see you there. Manchester, Paul, and from Manchester as well. St. Albans in Ireland, Dallas, Texas. Sharon, welcome. Very cool. What a global little group we've got going on here. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Tonight's presentation, we are going to talk about something called scorecard marketing. Scorecard marketing is a way that I've used to generate a lot of marketing for our coaching and consulting business over the last 5 years. We've generated the best leads we've ever had. And I want to talk you through essentially what it is, how it works. The punchline of tonight is there's no big sale. You don't have to sign up to anything in terms of paying any money. If you like what I talk about tonight, I'm going to recommend some software that you can use, and you can do an extended free trial of the software to test whether what I'm saying works for your business or not. But there's no need to worry that you're going to have to be spending any real money without actually testing to see whether this generates clients. So I just want to say that up front. I'll give you a little bit of background. For those of you who I've not met before, Daniel Priestley, I'm the CEO and the founder of a couple of different companies. Dent Global is well known as an entrepreneur accelerator, and then ScoreApp is a marketing tech company. We do data analytics for growing small businesses. So I'm founder of those businesses. I've also written 4 books on entrepreneurship, the Entrepreneur Growth series, and one Entrepreneur of the Year, which was earlier this year for last year's efforts, which has been great. And as a group, we've also won Growth Enabler of the Year and Business Advisor of the Year. So we've won some really good awards. Worked with about 3,500 companies globally. So that gives you a little bit of background as to who we are, my background. Okay, let's jump in here. I'll give you some more background here. When I was 19 years old, I went off to work for this guy called John. I was in number 3 at John's company, and we grew that business from 3 people to 60 people, and from 0 revenue to $6 million worth of revenue in 2 years. So it was a very fast growth business. This is me, obviously, a lot younger, but that's not me at 19. That's me catching up with John probably at age 30. So I was really young when I worked with John. And I had the incredible opportunity to learn just everything that he knew about growing a business, because I was the 3rd employee. I was really under the wing. I worked hard with him, and I did whatever I could to learn. So one of the very first lessons John gave me about growing a business is he said this. He said, everything's downstream from lead generation. Doesn't matter how good your product or service is. If you're the best coach, consultant, trainer, if you've got an amazing technology, if you've got an amazing process or method, none of that matters if you can't generate leads. So John's whole first problem with any business is, how do you generate an influx of leads? How do you get like 100 people a month expressing interest in what you do? How do you get people to actually kind of have an influx of expressing interest in your product or service? And that's a lead, right? A warm lead is somebody who's actually said, yeah, I'm interested in that. So I worked with John. We generated a lot of leads together, and we grew that business very rapidly. At 21, I quit, and I went off to start my own business, having learned lots of lessons from John. And the first thing I did was ran an ad in the newspaper. This is me at age 21. I ran this ad in the newspaper, and it blew up. We actually got about 60, 70 leads that week. We made $30,000 worth of sales. I then repeated that 41 times for the year. That same ad ran in the paper 41 weeks of the rest of the year. We did 1.3 million of sales with 400,000 of profit. And really what worked is that we just had a repeatable way, a very well-written ad into an introduction workshop that I ran. And then basically every Sunday we ran the ad. And then every Wednesday night we ran the introduction workshop. And that generated 1.3 million of sales when I was 22 years old with 400 grand of profit. It was an incredible first year in business, right? A home run straight out of the beginner's luck, you might say. That business ended up growing to 10.7 million. And then I came to the UK, and then I built this business called Dent into a global business. We launched Dent in about 2000. The first version was 2010, and then it kind of revamped in 2015, 16. But basically built it into a global business. Prior to the pandemic, we were in 8 cities around the world because we're a city business model. We're in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Singapore, London, Birmingham. We were in Tampa, Florida, Toronto. So we were growing the business all over the world. And one of our biggest things was having to try and generate leads in every city. So we did events, which was a really good strategy. We did email marketing. I wrote books. I put all these books out there in the marketplace. But here's what I started to run into. I started to run into a bit of a problem. And the problem is that all of my lead generation strategies were broadcast only. I was broadcasting a message to market, but I had no idea who was receiving that message. So I didn't know if someone was turning up to my event, I had no idea whether they were, the CEO of a NASDAQ listed company or a brand new startup that was just getting going, right? I had no idea. So 2015, I re-released the book Key Person of Influence, but this time I decided to put a special page in there, which I said, I'm going to turn this into a lead generation machine, this book. I'm going to put in this thing called an assessment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get people to go to this website and fill in 40 questions in order to take the Key Person of Influence quiz. So we set up this page here, and basically you can see 81,752 people had taken this. That was a couple of years ago, actually, a year or two ago. So about 90,000 people now have taken the score. People fill in the details, they put in their name and information, then they start answering questions, and they do this self-assessment. They go through, they eventually get an overall score, they get a PDF sent to their email inbox, and then they book themselves into an appointment, and we have a sales appointment. Now, this is the best sales appointment you've ever seen. And the reason that it's the best sales appointment you've ever seen is because we've got all the data. When somebody fills in one of these scorecards, we can see how they answered every single question. We can see, where they're strong, where they're weak. In this particular example, the pitch is only 24%. The profile is 69 and 74 for products. So the two things to talk about is pitching and publishing. So I see that straight away. I can look at the questions. But here's the thing. When you talk to a customer and pick up the phone and talk to someone, the worst thing you can say in 2022, 2023, and you should never say this, is tell me a little bit about yourself. I have no idea who you are. Tell me a bit about yourself. The reason you should not do this early on is because people have no time anymore. They basically assume you should have figured out who they are if you're going to pick up the phone and talk to them. They say things like, have you looked at my LinkedIn? Have you looked at my Twitter account? And it's not scalable to be able to do that with most people. So here's the beauty. If they've filled in an assessment, you can actually say something along the lines of this. Hi, Chris, you took the Key Person of Influence scorecard yesterday. I noticed that your high score was for partnership, but your low score was for pitching. And I'm wondering, would you be interested in discussing how you can improve that score? Now, basically, nobody says no to that. No one says, no, I'm happy with my weaknesses. People say, sure, let's talk about it. So it's a really warm call, and it means that you're already in a position of authority. It gives you a system that's automated and personalized for your marketing. So this is an amazing way of generating leads. I really want to stress, this was a game changer for us. Around 2015 was also a very pivotal point for me. In 2014, I had my first child, and my business was built based on flying around the world and speaking at events. and I now have 3 children, 4, 5, and 8. I tell you, I could not have possibly run the business that I had if we didn't solve this problem. I don't know how the hell I would have been a parent and a business owner. Something would have had to suffer pretty badly. So it was a pretty amazing strategy to kind of sort that out. Here's a question I want to ask for you. In the chat, let me know, how many leads per week would you need in order for you to say it was a life-changing amount of business, right? So if you were to say, how many warm leads would you get? Let's go with monthly, right? How many warm leads per month would you consider to be a life-changing experience? So for example, if you got, 100 warm leads a month, you probably would end up feeling very different about the business for many people. How many warm leads per month would you describe as a life-changing amount? Let's have a little look here. So we've got 20, 100 a month, 20, right, totally doable. 5, Noop, it's only 5. We can easily do that. Janet's 30, Greg's 20, Paul's 20. So I love this, right? So essentially between 5 and 100 leads per month. Isn't that awesome to think that if you are just 5 to 100 warm leads in a world of 7.8 billion people with 3 billion people on fast internet access, you're only 5 to 100 warm leads per month away from a life-changing business, right? So that's pretty cool. So let me tell you what happened to us. We got 90,000 leads. So we generated 15 million pounds in sales, which was pretty life-changing off the back of those 9,000 leads. It's hardly changed since 2015. We set it up once and it just keeps producing leads. It always continues to grow year on year. It's simple. Hardly anyone is doing it. Everyone's jumped on board the podcast thing. Everyone's jumped on board the YouTube channel thing. Hardly anyone's doing assessments and scorecards. It takes about 1 to 2 hours to set up an assessment, and then it's insanely cheap to run. So we know this because we rolled it out with several businesses in 2019, and all of them got great leads as well. Then in 2020, we launched ScoreApp so that people can set this up and do it themselves really cheaply. So it works out at about £29 a month once it's up and running and it's working, but you can obviously test that out for free. So you won't have to pay £29 a month until such time as you've figured out that it absolutely is working for you. And bear in mind, most of you have said that if it brings in 10 to 100 leads per month, then it's working for you. Okay, I'm going to take you through why it works and how it works. It's all going to be covered in this book, which I'll send you as well. It's all very, very simple. It's templated. You just use the templates that we've created and put your own customization, and then it's all ready to go, set up, and you can start using it. We've got some people like Jay Shetty using these. We've got Lewis Howe and Marie Forleo getting set up. We've got Ali Abdal using these. We've got lots of coaches, trainers, speakers, right? Lots of people are using these scorecards. People love taking scorecards. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to do, in the next part of the presentation, I'm going to break into 2 parts. Number 1, I'm going to talk about why it works, the philosophy as to why it works. Number 2, I'm going to talk about how to set one of these up, and we'll be nice and quick, and we'll have you completely ready, all up to speed pretty rapidly. Okay, so here's why it works. Why it works is that people buy to resolve tension. People buy anything at all to resolve tension. Let me know in the chat, what is it you do? What do you sell? What's your typical product or service that you're selling? What industry or business are you in? So that I can make a few points about this key idea that people buy to resolve tension. So let me know in the chat, what is it you do? Nice cat, Janet. That's a lovely cat. Leadership and development for women. So someone buys leadership development for women if they feel that they are underdeveloped as a leader and they need to develop their leadership. They want to develop that. Business coaching. People feel that their business is not as good as it could be and they want to make some sort of improvement. Leadership coaching. Their leadership is not as effective as they want it to be, and they want to buy some leadership coaching to make their leadership more effective. Business growth, right? People are feeling that their business growth is not as good as it could be, and they want to fix that. There's a tension. They want to do that. Scale profit with purpose for people and planet. Consultancy, right? So people feel that they're not aligned with purpose and planet, and they want to be. They really want to be known for that. There's always some tension. If you were to meet someone and you're a business coach and you say, tell me, how's your business? And they said, it's 100% perfect. I absolutely love my business. There's absolutely nothing I would change about it. You know that person is not going to buy business coaching because there's no tension. So if there's no tension, it's very difficult to make a sale. So what do we need in order to create some tension? Well, the first thing we need is that people need to know where they are today, their current reality. They then need to know their desired reality, and then they need to know what obstacles or criteria are in the way, right? What stands in their way. So they have to know current reality, desired reality, and then what stands in the way. And that creates tension. If you think about those three ingredients, current reality, desired reality, what stands in the way, if people don't know those three things, then there's no tension. They can't experience any tension in order to buy. So if you were going to sell business coaching, you would say, what's the current business you've got? What is it today? Where do you want it to be? What would you like? What does your perfect situation look like? What do you think's getting in the way? What do you think's stopping you from having that perfect business? Why isn't it like that right now? Right? So that would be current reality, desired reality, and obstacles. And essentially, those are the three elements that create tension. If you, as a business owner, don't know that about your customers, it's very, very difficult to speak to their wants and needs. It's difficult to have anything to grapple with or to work with in order to make a sale. So those are the three ingredients: current reality, desired reality, and then what's in the way. Now, the beauty of a scorecard is it tells them current reality, desired reality, and what are some of the things that they're not doing or doing that are preventing them from having what they want. Okay, the next thing is, this is a big one, and this is a tip that is going to 10x the size of your market that you've got to work with. Let me show you how to times your addressable market by 10. Okay, so this one is that people have dormant desires. People have dormant desires. So when it comes to people who might buy from you, there are two types of people who might buy from you. I call these active and dormant buyers, right? So there are active buyers and dormant buyers. Let me tell you the difference between the two. An active buyer is somebody who is actively looking for a leadership coach. They're actively looking for a business coach. They're actively looking for a scale-up consultancy that does purpose and profit. As when I say actively, I mean literally they're typing it into Google, right? So someone would be saying consultancy, purpose and profit, purpose and profit consultancy. Someone would be saying client reactivation provider or leadership coach, right? So they would be typing in things and looking for those things. Now, a dormant person is someone who is not searching, but they have the problem, they have the frustration. So for example, if someone's leadership skills were not great, and they thought that their leadership skills were lacking, but they weren't looking for somebody to help them with that. So they had a problem, but they're not searching for it. Now, here's the thing. The active market is tiny compared to the dormant market. If I were to go to a football stadium and say, who here is looking for a leadership coach? Right? Hardly anyone's going to put up their hand. But if I said, who here feels that their leadership skills could improve, most people would say, yeah, I guess I could improve my leadership skills. So there's a massive dormant market compared to the active market. So here's the thing. When you want to move someone from dormant to active, the way that happens is you shine a light bulb moment on their situation. And by providing people with an insight or a light bulb moment, you typically move someone from dormant to active. Right? So, for example, I personally was watching a YouTube video and I watched this guy show me on a YouTube video exactly how to play a blues riff, and he showed me how the fretboard was designed so that there's these different shapes that you can memorize, and if you know those shapes, you'll be able to play lots of blues riffs. And he showed someone who had gone from zero blues riffing to quite good blues riffing in about 2 hours worth of lessons. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. That light bulb moment is like, wow, I woke up this morning, I wasn't looking for someone to teach me blues guitar, but now I've seen that, it's given me an insight. I'm going to buy the guy's course for £100 and I'm going to go and learn blues guitar, right? So it was like light bulb moment. So whoever gives you the light bulb moment is normally the one who makes the sale. I wasn't going to sit there and go, oh my goodness, this guy's given me a light bulb moment. Now I'm going to go searching for teachers who might be able to teach me blues guitar. It's like, this guy gave me the light bulb moment, so I'm going to buy from this guy. So this is the difference between active and dormant. So here's the thing. If you can give people a light bulb moment, then you are the one who is going to awaken the dormant desire, and you're going to be the one to beat. So think about, what is one light bulb moment, and feel free to share it in the chat. What is one light bulb moment that you think, if people knew this light bulb moment, they would buy more of your stuff? Like, it might be a statistic, it might be a fact, it might be a little process. But if there was like, did you know blank? And if I knew that, then I might want to buy more of your stuff. So here's the thing about scorecards. They really do shed light on people's light bulb moments. Scorecards awaken that dormant desire. Okay, our next key idea that I want to share with you is that great brands know how to manufacture demand. Manufacturing demand is a skill, and I want to talk about this idea of manufacturing demand. In the industrial age, the wealthiest people who set up conveyor belts of manufacturing supply, they figured out how to get a piece of metal down this end to turn into a car up this end. And they basically figured out this whole production line, and they made it super fast and super cheap in order to manufacture supply, right? That was back in the industrial age. Today, it's very easy to manufacture stuff, especially digital stuff, but the millionaires today are actually the ones who know how to manufacture demand. And what they do is they set up online funnels, digital little gauntlets for people to run. And the companies that make the most money are the ones that can rapidly move people from not knowing much about you to going, oh my goodness, I need to buy this thing that you've got, I need to buy what you have. So this is a process of manufacturing demand. It could be a combination of videos or audio or text. But what I want to put to you is that a scorecard is an amazing way of manufacturing demand 24/7. People, it's a very fast process of people of going from, I don't know who you are or what you do, to, oh my goodness, I want to buy from you. The next thing I want to share before we get into how to do it is people love to score and improve things. They are so hardwired. I've got little kids, and when I put up a height chart in the office and just stick it on the wall, what do they immediately do? They run over and they want to measure how tall they are, and they want to see how tall is daddy, how tall is each of the kids, and they want to look at the difference between each of them at what age they are. So kids are just hardwired to want to score stuff and put numbers on stuff, right? So here's the thing. If you can tell people what they should be measuring and give them a number as to where they are now and a number as to where they could be in 3 months if they do some work, that is an incredibly powerful framework for you to share. So for example, if you said your leadership skills are currently a 4 out of 10, and you could have them at an 8 out of 10 in the next 3 months. Your business growth strategy is a 3 out of 10, but it could be an 8 out of 10 in 3 months from now. Your profit with purpose, your purpose is only known by 27% of your workers. We need to get that up to 75% of your workers need to understand the profit. We've done a test and we've figured out what to measure, where are you now, and where you could be in the next 3 months. So this is a very, very important thing. You want to figure this out. What should people be measuring? And then how do we measure where they are now, and where could they be 3 months from now? Okay, so scorecards give people a way to score and improve, right? So these are all the reasons why it's really, really powerful to create a scorecard for your business. Okay, let's get into the good part, which is how do you set this up? So to set up a scorecard, there's only 4 things that you have to do. You've got to have a landing page that tells people to take their assessment. You've got to have a questionnaire or an assessment. Tolu, good to see you. You've got to have a dynamic results page. You've got to have some promotion so that the scorecard is promoted. And I just want to let you know, you don't have to memorize this, put it all into a book for you. We've got a downloadable PDF. We've got an online video series you can watch. We've got people who can help you. We've got a community where you can join and ask questions. We've got videos on YouTube. It's all very much laid out. So just sit back and enjoy the big picture, and we can get into the detail as you're setting yourself up. But these are the 4 things that you need. Number 1 is a landing page. So for example, your landing page could be like, let me actually start with the name, right? So the first thing I want you to do is name your scorecard. You give it a name, and the name that you're going to give it is based on your customer's desired outcome. So whatever it is they want to have. So for example, if they really want to be ready to pitch investors, you can do the investor pitch ready scorecard. And this is what a landing page will look like. So this is a great example of a landing page. It shows that there's a report. It says, would an investor give you their money right now? The challenge most entrepreneurs face when trying to raise money is they don't know the investors are looking for. Find out in less than 5 minutes if your business would catch an investor's interest and money, right? So you answer a series of questions, and it's going to tell you whether your business is pitch ready. Someone might say, I really want to have business growth. Okay, here's your business growth scorecard. Your report's going to show you where your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities are. Let's get into it. I really want to experience financial clarity. So here's a landing page. Do you know where your money's taking you? Discover your financial clarity score to see how prepared you are when it comes to personal finances. So these are examples of landing pages that are based upon delivering somebody an outcome, showing people how to get closer to an outcome. They're going to figure out where are they now, where do they want to be, and how can they improve. So another way of doing this is a scorecard called Are You Ready to Begin or Are You Ready to Start? Here's this one. Are you ready to run a marathon? Are you ready to increase your prices? Are you ready to sell your house? Are you ready to win awards? You could do, are you ready to improve as a leader? Are you ready to activate more growth? Are you ready to scale your profit with purpose? Are you ready to have an outstanding culture? Are you ready to recover from domestic abuse? Right? So you could actually put all of that into the Are You Ready category. So here's an example. Are you ready to have success with MS? Discover where you are with these 5 key health pillars. Now, you don't have to call it a scorecard. You could call it a quiz, an assessment, a test, a score, an indicator. All of that works. So I want you to have a go at this. What would you name your scorecard? Put it into the chat. What's the best name for your scorecard? What would you call yours? If you were going to set up an assessment as a lead generator, what would be the best one for your business? Let's see some going into the chat. Gordon, what's your business? Decision Day.
Hi Dan.
Hey.
How you doing? I've got a personal development business, and
Great. And is it all about making decisions?
it is.
Great. So are you ready to make faster decisions as a team? Your decision-making scorecard.
Yep.
So you could test either of those. That would be great. Dion, are you ready to be seen and heard and taken seriously in the boardroom? Oh, fabulous. I love that. Tolu, webinar readiness scorecard. Are you ready? Here's a better one. Tolu, what about are you ready to run engaging and powerful webinars? Janet, are you ready to completely recover from abuse? Right, so that could be yours. Are you ready to become emotionally intelligent as a seller in sales? Are you ready to become a more emotionally intelligent seller? Are you ready to have instant clarity for your business future? Right, so these are all great questions that engage people about where they're heading into the future. I love it. Okay, once you've got a name, the starting point is pretty simple. You select a template. The template is, we've got something like 50 different templates. You pick the one that looks prettiest, the one that you think looks most like your business, and you can just customize the images. So you can put any images you like in there. All these images are just placeholders so that you can just drop in the images that you want to have that represent your business, but it shows you that you've already got a design ready to go. And then you just edit the text. So There's just parts in there where obviously you insert your business name and your logo, and you just kind of customize the text. And then there you go, you've got a landing page, and the purpose of the landing page is only one thing, which is that people click this button that says take the scorecard or begin the quiz, right? The only outcome is that they are going to take the scorecard or they're going to begin the assessment. So what do you do next? The next part is the questionnaire. So the questionnaire is where you're going to ask them a series of questions in order to assess whether they are actually doing the right things. How well are they on the journey? So think about it like this. If someone is going to go on a journey from where they are now to where they want to be, what are some of the steps along the way, and how could we turn those into questions? So let's say someone wants to become a key person of influence. One of the steps would be getting 5,000 followers on social media. So I can ask the question, do you have 5,000 followers on social media? One of the steps might be, do you give public speeches? Do you give talks? So I can ask the question, do you currently give talks and speeches? One step might be featured in the media. Are you featured in the media regularly? So I can just turn all those little steps into questions to see, have you achieved this step? Have you gone across that threshold? And the more people have completed those steps, the further along they are to achieving that success. So Noop, for example, has a business that is all about consultancy around purpose, people, and profit, and getting those things aligned. So you might ask the question, have you shared with your entire company team what is the purpose of the business beyond making money? Does everyone in the company know the purpose of the business beyond making money? That might be one of the questions. Do you have posters up in the office that express the purpose of the business? Have you got a clearly defined vision, mission, and values statement on your website? So these are all things that are kind of like questions on the checklist towards success. So think of it as a bit like a checklist. The more of these we can check off, the better you're doing, right? So for example, I've got this one for our, do you give talks and trainings? If someone Googled your name, would they find most of page one is positive links featuring you? Are you featured in the media more than a few times a year, right? So we go through and we ask those questions, and people start getting scored against that. On the back end, you can actually assign points to yes and no. So a yes could be 1 point or 2 points or 3 points, and no could be minus a point, or you can set it up however you. How many questions do you need to have? Well, here's the thing. If you want to generate more leads, you want to ask about 7 to 12 questions. You want that scorecard to be super fast, super quick, easy for people to fly through and finish. If you have plenty of people who know who you are and you convert more sales, you need to ask 20 to 50 questions so you can really drill in and identify something important to talk about. And I think 20 to 50 questions tends to be better for conversion, but it only works if people already kind of know who you are and they're happy to answer that number of questions. Now, if someone's already paid you, they're already a client, and you want to figure out what to do with them and how to work with them, then you can actually ask them 50 to 100 questions, and that can give you a complete breakdown as to what you need to do to improve their life. So for example, you can go through and say, does your sales team do this? Does your ops team do this? Does your finance team do this? Does this person do you have done that? Have you got this in place? You fire all these questions. At the end of it, you can actually see, okay, we need to fix that in sales. We need to fix that in finance. We need to do that over there, right? So this is an amazing one for project managing your clients and identifying the things that would improve their life, things that would get them a better result. So out of curiosity, which one do you want more of? Do you want more leads, conversions, or clients? How would you use a scorecard if you were going to do one of these three? Would you do a 7 to 12 question lead generator, a 20 to 50 question conversion generator, or a 50 to 100 question happy client generator? What would you be focused on? Leads. Okay, we've got conversions. Fantastic. Okay, so once you've chosen yourself a template, it'll already come preloaded with a bunch of questions. And the trick is you want to just go and edit those questions and add questions if you want, delete questions if you want. You can create some categories if you want to give people category scores. So all of that's pretty easy. The reason we loaded it up with questions is to just get you thinking about what kind of questions to ask. And you just kind of go in and edit those pretty easily. Okay, the final thing, the next part, sorry, is the results page. So this is where you do the big reveal. The big reveal is where people get their score. So what people typically see is they've answered some questions and now they've got your overall scores 54%, and these are the areas that are fine and these are the areas to improve. You might get some content here called dynamic content. You could use their name, you could use their business name, you can put in some content based on how they answered. And what we do is we get you to set up on the back end some scoring tiers, low, medium, and high, and then you create different content for whether they scored low, medium, or high. So if someone scores low, you might say, looks like you've got some work to do. Here's 3 tips for getting started. Medium, you've got strong foundations, but there's room to improve. Here's a video designed for taking you up a level. High, well done, you're strong in this area, important to keep up the good work, fine-tune your results, try these advanced techniques. So you can put these in. So I'll give you an example start to finish. So here's one we built for Stephen Bartlett. He hasn't used it yet, but we're actually just getting him all set up. Happy Sexy Millionaire is his book. And what we've done here is we've said, are you dreaming of becoming a happy, sexy millionaire? Take the quiz and assess your readiness for becoming one right now. And he said, we're going to score you on happiness, sexiness, and millionaireness. You're going to go through, you're going to answer some questions on a daily basis. Do you do this? Do you regularly look for this opportunity? On a scale of 1 to 5, how do you do this? And then once you've answered all the questions, it says your overall score is this, but also here's how you scored for each of those. So happiness, you came out 76%. Sexiness or love, you came out 29%. And millionaire, 76%. So we've got a clear one here. The key area is to focus on this. And then it says, next step, get the book, right? So you can make any next step you want. You can have different next steps based on how people answer. So you have get the book or have a one-to-one or attend an event or a combination of those things. I'm curious, what would be a next step that you would want people to do? What's a typical next step? Let's say someone scores pretty well and they want a next step. What's a typical next step for you? Do you do calls? Do you do workshops? Do you send books? What would be the most desirable next step you would want with the right person? Schedule a call. So we've actually got built-in scheduling, so you can actually just sync it up with your scheduling tool. So most of you might use something like Calendly. You can just give people a link to your Calendly and they can schedule a call with you. Now, when you do have a phone call with them, you're going to be able to have all the data. You'll be able to see a dashboard for each person. You'll be able to see exactly how they answered all the questions. You'll be also be able to see aggregate data. So you'll be able to see how everyone's answering the questions. Once you've got, let's say, 50 people who have filled in the scorecard, you'll be able to see what percentage of people say no and what percentage of people say yes. And that's going to give you business ideas as to how to improve your marketing. So look at this one, for example. Do you have well-known personalities and brands endorsing you? 74% of people say no. That would be a great business opportunity for me to run a workshop called How to Get Known Personalities and Brands to Endorse You, because I now know that 74% of my database don't have that. So that would be a great opportunity for me to go in and zoom on that. Okay, the final one is promotion. So we've created a little checklist for you, 29 simple ways to launch your scorecard. There's lots of different ways in there. We've also created blogs, 11 ways to promote on your website, using SEO to promote, how to convert your sales. And I've also written a book called Scorecard Marketing, which covers a lot of promotion. So there's lots and lots of tools for promotion here. I won't go through all of them today, but I will say this. This is one of our clients' websites, Elite Dating. They actually do like matchmaking for people. And they had something like tens of thousands of people looking at their website and their blog every month, but they didn't know who they were. People not revealing themselves. They were just reading the blog. So what they did is they put a pop-up there called Are You Elite Material? Find out how eligible you are in 5 minutes, take the test. And suddenly they started getting between 50 and 80 leads per day. every single day. Now, their product is about $8,000. So for you to sign up with them and have them work with you, it's $8,000. What do you think it's worth to their business to be getting 50 to 80 warm leads per day, right? It's pretty explosive. Now, you can do things like run ads. We regularly see people's ads running. This is a good one. Keen partners, take our free 5-minute R&D tax credit test. Is your brand irresistible? Get your free tailored report. Right. So rather than running ads and getting name, email, and location, you're going to run ads and get name, email, phone, location, likes, dislikes, frustrations, the whole lot. Right. So you'll be able to jump in there. One of our clients, they do these cabins in the woods. They're called bunkies. They're in Canada. They went from 3.5 million to 7 million in revenue, and 90% of the growth was down to the scorecard. We doubled our business off the back of our scorecard. So as soon as they got talking to people, people were able to take the scorecard and they were able to see whether they were suitable for having a bunkie. So really, really powerful. So here we go, getting started. So key thing, for the next 24 hours, tonight and tomorrow, we're going to give you a free link, and that link allows you to get an extended free trial. So you get to try ScoreApp out completely for free, and you'll be able to have an extended free trial. And I'm just going to get you that link now, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So this special link, this is the one for an extended free trial. And here's what also, not only do you get a free trial where you can do this for free, we're going to issue you a little challenge. And the challenge is, if in the first 30 days you can get some leads flowing, call it 10 leads. If you can get 10 leads on the platform, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you 3 books. We're going to give you a sales workshop that's worth £279. And we're also going to run in the next 30 days a setup and score workshop, which is a live workshop for you to set up and score. So in the next 30 days, you'll be able to do a live workshop where we actually help you to get your scorecard all set up, customized, and tailored. It'll be a 90-minute workshop with Lee, who's one of our top people. She's going to take you through start to finish, and she'll actually bring scorecards up live and show you how to improve them right there on the screen. I'm going to have a scheduled event next year, which is called Get Sales. I'm going to share with you everything that we've learned about how to convert scorecard leads into sales. I normally charge $279 for that work. You'll just be able to attend that, provided you're set up. And we'll also invite you into our community of people who are using the scorecard so you can get feedback. We'll also give you access to any videos and trainings that we've got available. So we've got lots and lots of stuff. We'll also send you out a copy of the new book, Scorecard Marketing. So you'll get one of those. Now, if you, in the first 30 days, you'll be able to select your template. You'll be able to spend about an hour getting it all ready. You'll have a ready-made marketing funnel in less than 2 hours. You'll get a steady stream of leads if you start promoting it, and the leads will all be data rich. Now, at the end of 30 days, if you decide you want to keep going because it's working for you, £29 a month covers absolutely everything. Landing page, questionnaire builder, community, dynamic results. You can use it for £29 a month. If you're a bigger business and you want to go up to 1,000 leads per month, then you're going to pay $89 a month. I think you'll agree that in comparison to what 1,000 leads a month is worth, warm leads per month, $89 a month is a small price to pay. Most of you do not need to, based on what you said, most of you do not need to spend more than £29 a month. Most of you said a life-changing amount of leads was between 5 and 100 leads per month, which means $29 a month. And I'm pretty sure if you got 5 to 100 leads per month coming into your business, $29 a month would be pretty good value. In many cases, ScoreApp replaces people's websites. If you don't have a hugely developed website, you can exchange your website for ScoreApp instead. And that means your website's doing what it's meant to do, which is generating business for you. Okay, so bottom line, costs you nothing to try it. If it works, you'll have generated a powerful lead generation magnet that should just keep working. If you get some leads, you'll unlock some bonuses, and you can switch it off at any time. So if you do end up paying $29 a month or $89 a month, there's no contracts. You don't have to enter into any long-term agreement. You can just switch it off if it's not working for you. So it's all pretty simple, and there you go. So I'll just open up for any questions. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask about ScoreApp? Feel free to just come off mute.
Hi, Daniel. Brian here.
Hey, Brian.
So, Daniel, I'm currently trying to get some quality leads off LinkedIn. And I'm wondering whether you've had any experience taking people off of LinkedIn onto a landing page and then, getting to schedule a one-on-one call.
Brian, I can't tell you the company's name.
Yeah.
If I did tell you the company's name, you would be utterly shocked, because it's a tech company that you would think knows how to do what we do than what we do. However, there's a company that told their salespeople that they had to go on LinkedIn and do cold outreach. It wasn't working. So what they did is they created a scorecard with us, and now they message people on LinkedIn and they say, I looked at your profile. I think we'd be a really great fit to work together. We've created a scorecard to assess whether you are able to achieve X, Y, and Z. I can't give you too much because I don't want to reveal the company. And take the scorecard. This has been exponentially more successful than any outreach program they've ever done, because it's a quick scorecard. They send off about 200 to 400. Each salesperson sends off 200 to 400 messages per week, and then they get quite a considerable number of those coming back filled in scorecards, and then they have a good conversation with people based on the LinkedIn profile and the scorecard, and it's working really, really well. That little two-step maneuver there. Did that make sense, Brian? I had to kind of be a little bit kind of careful as to how much I said.
No, absolutely, because I think the thing is getting giving people enough reason to engage and to actually reach out, because I am on Sales Navigator, but I'm finding that giving people a link to Calendly, there was something missing there. They needed to get some value before they could go on to Calendly.
Quite literally, that's exactly
with me. Yeah,
that's exactly what was happening with this big company. Brian, what is it you do?
I'm a business coach. So what I actually do is I help small businesses develop a steady flow of customers so that they can actually increase their revenue.
Great. So you just create a revenue generation score, and you send people a message and you say, in 2023, revenue generation is likely to be harder than ever. The central banks are putting up interest rates. The stock market's cooled off. Inflation has hit most countries. So revenue generation is going to be harder. Take the scorecard to see if you're maximizing every revenue generation method available. And let's see what your revenue generation score looks like. And then I'll discuss it with you. And most people will go, oh, I have to know. You could I've put 17 revenue generation strategies in the scorecard. All you have to do is answer yes or no, whether you're using that or not. And by the end of the scorecard, you'll have 17 strategies, and we'll know which ones you're using, which ones you're not using. And that tends to be a really powerful, that would be a powerful way to get people to engage.
Thanks, Daniel.
Does that sound good?
Sounds perfect, yeah.
Daniel Grant, sorry, I can't put my video on. It's
no worries.
Problem with signal in Bedford and Avon tonight. Just a quick one. I'm embarking on a new business doing mentoring. Have you guys got a template for that at all in your? Because I love what you do, the scorecard, but this is kind of a side business for me, a side hustle. And I will start mentoring. I've got lots of experience in running businesses. I want to do this as a side gig. Have you got a template for that on your system?
Well, let's have a look, Grant. So I'm going to hit here. I'm just going to go new scorecard, and it's going to bring up all the templates. So what is it you want to mentor people on?
Basically everything. So, I mean, lots of what I pick up now, and I kind of do this for free because my primary business is as an investment banker, are issues with people going in the boardroom where they don't know how to communicate with the board, or they get pushed back and they get shut down. And it's across a whole host of things around that. So it's not around leadership, it's just about they don't have a voice. It spills further onto that is to find out why they don't have a voice. And often there's things sitting in the
So
background,
Grant,
like marital issues or shit like that.
okay, so here's what I might do. I might just, if I was working with you, I would start with a scorecard that you just like the look of. So do you like the look of this one, the level up one, or high performing team one? Which one do you like?
Neither.
What about this one? Discover your digital imp, this one or this one?
Yeah, probably the rocket, maybe the rocket.
The rocket. Okay, cool.
Because I need to get a rocket up. I need to get a rocket up their bum so they can get moving.
Fantastic. So you just start with this. Now, what
Okay.
you'll do is you'll drop, of all the companies you've worked with previously, drop in the logos there. So you don't go and ask for permission. Just take them down if they ask you to take them down. But if you've worked with, some big brands, just say, I've previously worked with big global brands like this one, this one, this one, right? So you can create this one. Now, it's very easy to edit this. So it's already comes complete, but I'll just use this template. So here's what it says. It says your scorecard's being created. And what it does is it goes and it builds from scratch into the portal and it puts it in draft mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit it. So I'm touching this button here called build. I'm going to go to the landing page and I just go edit the landing page. I go straight on there and touch the text that I want to edit. And I'm just going to go, could your career benefit from having a mentor? And then I'll put here, answer 12 questions about your career. And discover how to take your earnings and enjoyment to the next level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So there we go. So we start there. They're going to be the brands that you've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop your photo there, right? So
Yeah.
I'll put your photo there and I'll put in here, actually add a section. We're going to add a section with, let's have a look here. I'm going to put in a little, I'm going to put this one in here, and this is where your face will go.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put here, Brand has worked in the industry for 100 years. Right?
Not that old, mate.
not quite that many, right? So we can put this little section in there. So basically, I've gone and built the landing page. You can put some testimonials of people you've worked with.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can put the typical things that people are improving, right? So all of that's in there. You get the idea?
Yeah, great. Yeah, fantastic.
And then with the questions, you've got all these questions you want to know. So you just go in and you basically have a little edit of the questions. So you might view them by categories. Let's say that the first category that you want is career progression.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to call this category career progression. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with 4 questions on career progression.
Yeah.
The next one you're going to edit, you're going to have communication skills.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to go in there and we're going to edit that one. And we're going to come up with 4 or 5 questions on that, et cetera, et cetera. Right? Now, this is basically, you can see how within a few minutes, I'm already starting to build this thing out.
Yeah,
It's
stunning. It's stunning.
Super fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you do the landing page. And on the landing page, you're going to have, here's how, sorry, not landing page, the results page. So on the results page, you're going to say, thank you for taking the mentoring check.
Yeah.
Here's your score. Here's how you did with communication, career progression, communication skills, infrastructure, right? How do we improve? Book a deep dive session. Let's have a conversation on the phone.
Yeah, great.
Right. And then, a little bit about Grant, right? So we can put all of that in there. Now, if we want to get really sexy, we can add a PDF report. So they get a PDF report with their results.
Yeah.
You can do a results email that goes out to them.
Yeah.
Right. So all of that. Let me show you what happens once the leads come in. So this is one that I'm currently running, which is just a simple one called register for the book. And this is what everyone sees on the front end. People fill in that, then answer a few questions. Basically, you can see I've had 2,172 visits to this page.
Yeah.
I did a campaign back here on the 13th and on the 14th, and then we've just had some draft ever since we sent that out. And you can see there I did a little bump with my social media. And I can actually go in and have a look at all my insights. I can see how it all looks there. I can see on average how people answered all my questions. I only asked 6 questions.
Yeah.
I can see which if I want to do A/B testing on the landing pages, I can see that. So I can see which landing page performed the best. So all of these things are super, right? So we created a main landing page, and then we had a marketing, this landing page here with Glenn. So we can see all those different things there.
Yeah, great.
And then when the leads come in, each lead that comes in, I can see how people scored, and I can see how they answered each of the questions. All right, so I can go in there and see all those. I can see how much time they spent on the website and where they came from. Right, so all of that stuff's all nice and easy. I've got all of those leads coming in on the regular there. Super nice. And also I can look at I can go to the help center, I can go courses, community. I can go up here and I can get a referral code, and I can actually send people over to the referral code, and I can earn 22% commission if I recommend someone else uses ScoreApp. So, it's funny. I've only ever used this as a slight demo, and I've accidentally earned £556 worth of commission. Because we pay you every month based on the recurring revenue, so it adds up. But obviously ScoreApp hasn't paid me the money, so because of course.
I'd like to chat to you about that. How do I get hold of you separately? Because I also represent a whole lot of other companies, some substantial companies. I do some marketing for them, but it's a pain in the butt. I don't like sending emails. I just don't have the time for it. But if I had to do this, I talk about supersize companies like Supersize in the hundreds of billions of revenue. We've just give you one. So, and they're battling with marketing, and I can't get to all their stuff with them. But this could work an absolute treat.
Grant, we'll put you in touch with someone on our team, and we actually recently bought an agency that builds all of this for big companies. So we actually bought a company. We have a full-time agency that works with large companies all day, every day, typically $50,000 to $150,000 budgets. And we actually orchestrate entire campaigns internally for their staff, externally for their customers. We use it in all sorts of different ways for big companies. So if you want to talk to us, we can just set it up and do it all for them.
Yeah, please get one of your guys to give me a shot. And I'd love to have a chat to them. I've got a few big ones that I represent, like supersize companies. I do lots of work for them. But like property, I mean, well, one company, their turnover is 277 billion. So it's a massive company.
There's not many, it's a start. It's not you can't live on 277 billion, but
easily.
Not a bad place to begin.
No, not a bad place to begin. So have you got enough of my details to be able to get somebody to reach out to me?
Please just drop me a message in the chat, Grant. Just direct message me your best
email
address.
Perfect. Thanks, mate.
And we'll take it from there. I'll put you in touch with Rebecca.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? Let me know if you've got any other questions. You've seen a bit of a demo now. You've seen how it works.
Luke,
Yeah, go for it.
Just a couple of questions. Thank you so much. Insightful as always. So I started writing my scorecard and I was kind of stumped whether they should be yes, no questions or multiple choice. And if you had any recommendations on that. And then my other part of the question is, you mentioned that you can sync up Calendly to this platform. And the other thing I wanted to know is in terms of a CRM system, so you just show the screen with all of the leads that you got, but can you transfer that, or should you be transferring that somewhere else, or can you just hold them on ScoreApp?
Yeah, so it's very easy to integrate to your account. Let me just quickly show you how to do that. So, for example, you can just go to, let's go there. So with each scorecard, you just hit the integrate button and you just select your CRM system. Your CRM will give you a code. You put that code into that box and it will automatically start giving you all the information as to how to sync up with your existing CRM, and it'll push all of those results over to your existing CRM system. So every time a lead comes in, it'll go over to your CRM. You can see we're using customer.io, and that's synced up there, ready to go. So very easy to do that.
Preferences, like do you guys recommend any specific ones that you think are more compatible?
For the well, they're all. We've got a whole host of them that are what's called automatically integrated.
Okay.
So for small businesses with very simple needs, we tend to see that a lot of our customers are using ActiveCampaign. For the slightly bigger ones, we're seeing a lot of people using Keep and HubSpot. And then for really large companies, they typically use Salesforce. Depending on what your needs are. But I think we've got Zapier integrations as well, so you can integrate anything with Zapier.
Okay.
And then as for the questions, yes or no questions tend to work best.
Okay.
And also the other thing I really want you to put in there is cheeky questions. Cheeky questions are the ones that the stuff that you wish you could ask in order for you to qualify the customer. So if you can put a cheeky little question like, is your business, do you have more than 10 people on your team? Do you have more than 2 million of revenue or something like that? If you can throw a few little cheeky questions that are qualifiers, normally you wouldn't be able to ask them, but because it's on a digital platform, people just answer. It allows you to kind of have that data at your fingertips. Anything that allows you to figure out which client is the perfect client to spend your time with as opposed to all the others is a perfect question to throw in there.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Really helpful.
My pleasure. Okay, so that brings us to the end. I want to make sure that we finish up on time. I just want to double check. Has everyone had a chance to get the link I posted earlier? Because that's the link that gives you the extended free trial. If you don't have that, then you're going to, when I close this, you're going to end up going back to the website and end up going in and only getting a limited free trial of 14 days as opposed to the extended free trial, and you won't get all the bonuses and all that sort of stuff. So please use that link. That link's available till close of business tomorrow. And that's the way to get the most benefits and bonuses as well. Okay, very, very good. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for checking out ScoreApp. I really look forward to seeing how this works for you and seeing what you do with it and how you create with it. And I really do believe that leads change lives. If your business gets 10 to 100 warm leads a month, you're going to have a life-changing experience with this product. So I really want to see that happen. I'd love to see nothing more than you getting completely oversubscribed in 2023, having a long waiting list of clients off the back of your scorecard. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. All the best.